I had a guy tell me yesterday, one of my mastermind students, he said, Michael, he says, your advice when it comes to business, marketing, and personal life, he said, it's chemotherapy. It's chemotherapy. And I said, what do you mean my advice is chemotherapy? And he says, like chemotherapy, he says, your advice, the cure is almost as bad as the disease. And I thought about that for a few minutes and I said, you know what? My advice, my brass balls advice is like chemotherapy to a cancer patient. It is, in a lot of cases, the cure, and the cure almost kills the patient. It's that hard, it's that difficult, it's that harsh, but at the end of the day, if a person's one of those rare students who's willing to go through the pain, go through the difficulty, go through the embarrassment, go through all of the hardship, it's the cure. And instead of existing in the soup of despair or the soup of depression or the soup of anxiety or the soup of unrealized dreams and goals, instead, a guy mans up, he takes his medicine, and he transforms his life. It's interesting because I was talking to this particular individual, great guy. He's 60 years old, and he's almost $400,000 in debt. And he has a mortgage. And if this cat doesn't get his act together, his financial act together in the next 3 to 4 years, like I told him yesterday, he's going to die broke. He is going to live the rest of his life, no matter how long he lives, he's going to live the rest of his life with the stress, with the pressure, with the it never leaves you weight. It's like a 10,000 pound piano on your back of debt. My dad has a great saying, debt makes a hard pillow. Debt makes a hard pillow. And my dad has coached me through using good debt and bad debt, especially when the interest rates were 1%, 2%, even 3%. You can use bank debt strategically, you know, when the markets are going well and the economy's going well, and, you know, being in debt 2% or 3% can sometimes make you even more money if you play that game. But at the end of the day, when there's a recession or a depression or times tighten up and you've got debt, it's literally a boat anchor around your neck. And that's why my dad always says at the end of the day, debt is evil. Debt makes a hard pillow. So I was telling this guy yesterday, I said, okay, what's the $350,000 in debt? And he said, he said some of it's student debt from his children that are now adults. I said, well, that's, not your responsibility. He said, there's debt in terms of credit cards, there's the mortgage, and there's vehicle debt. Paying $4,000 a month for a vehicle, paying off a home, all kinds of credit card debt. And then I asked him, I said, how much are you making a year? And this guy, he's bringing in to close to $150K a year, which is pretty good. We can make this work. So I give him the chemotherapy and I say, listen, I said, I'm going to give you the medicine that you need and somebody should have given you 35 years ago. But I said, if you follow my prescription, you're going to get this debt out of your life. You're going to get this boat anchor out of your life. You're going to get this piano off your back in the next 2 to 3 to 4 years. But you're going to have to take your medicine. And it's going to be brutal and it's going to be harsh and it's going to practically kill you. It's like chemotherapy. It's going to, the cure will almost kill you, but it'll cure you. And he said to me, he goes, okay, so what's that? And I said, first of all, sell your house, sell your home. I said, you cannot afford to live in a large home, and he's paying a large mortgage, and the kids are now gone or should be gone. Good reason to get rid of them. They should be on their own. They should be self-dependent, not living at home. And I said, the car needs to go too. I said, you need to rent a 1-bedroom apartment. I don't give a shit what age you are. And you need to drive a clunker of a truck. And you need to work 24/7 for the next 3 to 4 years. He has a job where he has his income at $150K with consulting contracts through the government, which is solid foundation money. And then he's got a side business consulting where he can literally, he told me, if he wants to work extra hours, add another $150,000. So he can go, if he works like an animal, from $150K to $300K. So I said, sell the house. You don't have time to wait. Sell the vehicle, rent a 1-bedroom apartment, live as simple as possible. Everything has to go. All the expenses have to go. All the entertainment has to go. The Netflix and all the TV watching and all the entertainment, all the apps, it all has to go. It all has to go. And you need to start attacking the credit card debt, that student debt that you have from your kids that you promised to pay off or were responsible for. He, as a father, he said he would take care of that. So back in the day, so he's responsible for that. And then paying down the debt, no more mortgage, no more car payment. And I said, you bust your ass for 3 to 4 years and it's gone. And then from that point forward, you can literally live the remainder of your years as a free man. You want to travel a little bit, you want to buy a house, you want whatever it is, but all the debt's gone. The credit card debt's gone at 20%, the mortgage, the car, $4,000 a month for a vehicle, all of that's gone. All of that gone. The student debt, all of it's gone. And I said, you'll feel like a new man, but you're going to have to take your medicine for the next 3 to 4 years. Now, whether he'll man up and do it, I have no idea, and it's not my responsibility. But he will die broke. He will die broke whenever that day comes. He will never be able to retire. With $350,000 in debt, he's losing money every week, every month, every year to just interest payments, to debt. Debt is evil. And if he doesn't turn this around and take massive action on this, like literally change his entire life and take his chemotherapy and do what he has to do, there's no chance. He's literally going to live a life of quiet desperation for the next 10, 20, 30, 40 years because he'll never be financially free and he'll never be able to retire. And this will be like that 2,000-pound gorilla on his back. And it affects every part of your life. It affects your marriage. It affects your relationship with your kids, your grandkids. It affects your physical health, your mental health, your emotional health, hell, even your spiritual health. It just wears you down. It just pushes you down. It's just like that piano on your back just pushes you down till there's nothing left. Debt makes a hard pillow. So it just reminded me that a person has to come to the crossroads in their life. We've all been there at many crossroads, and you have to decide whether to take the medicine, which is so harsh in some cases that it's almost as bad as what you're suffering from, but there's a light at the end of the tunnel. And most people, 99% of people, are not willing to take the medicine. They're not willing to deal with the harsh reality to turn this around, whether it's their health, their wealth, their fitness, their marriage. They're not willing to take the necessary treatment. the necessary medicine. And then they live a life of quiet desperation for the next 30, 40 years. I call it swimming in the soup of your bad decisions instead of attacking it, instead of just standing up and attacking it. This is something that I'm going to be talking about on a brand new, I've never done this before. I think goal setting is horseshit. I think New Year's resolutions are for chumps. I've always said that. But admittedly, when I was younger and I was coaching pro hockey and coaching amateur hockey and I was a young entrepreneur, I was a Tony Robbins fanboy. I was like, inspiration and fire walks and all this stuff. And I just loved that stuff when I was a younger guy. And I used to set goals and resolutions and all this stuff. And I would be like, new year, new life, that kind of stuff. And when I got older and wiser and I lost enough hockey games and I lost enough money and I didn't make my goals or my resolutions happen or stick, I realized there's got to be a better way, because this is not how high performance people behave. High performance people do not set New Year's resolutions. There's a reason all the fitness centers and gyms are empty by January 18th. There's a reason that 99.9% of people don't achieve their goals. And I'm going to share this training, what I've discovered over the last 20 years, what I call anti-goal setting. I don't believe in goal setting. I believe in goal getting, but this is anti-goal setting. And it's a training that I could easily charge $1,000 for, even $5,000 for. And I've shared some of this with my high-end mastermind guys way back in the day, but I haven't talked about this in years. And it's my anti-goal setting for a brand new year. And instead of charging $1,000 or $500 or even $200 a person, I want to help as many people as I can heading into a brand new year. And what you pay won't make any difference to me anyways. It won't make any difference at all. I'm not all of a sudden going to go out and upgrade my vehicle because of a masterclass. But I love coaching this shit because the rest of the stuff that's taught is absolute fantasy sold as reality. Resolutions and goals are dangerous because they leave us frustrated and angry and wondering what the hell happened. And so goal setting used to make me feel so stressed and so anxious because I'm like, oh, I missed today, or I should have been working on this, or I didn't get to that goal. I only got 3 of my goals done today, and it just made me a mess. So I want a different result for you. I want results in the new year. The link is below, badassnewyear.com. No, it's not. What am I talking about? I'm emotionally drunk. I don't even know what I'm talking. No BS New Year. I picked that domain because this is the opposite of what everything else is going to be preached over the next month. New Year's this, resolution this. No BS newyear.com. And the link is below. And pay whatever you want. So you can pay $1 if that's all you can afford to be on this live training. It's on Wednesday, December 18th at 10:59 Eastern. That's the 18th of December. It's going to be about 2 hours. You have to block out 2 hours. And I'm going to take you through my anti-goal setting program that I do every December. We'll literally do the system on the training. So when the training's over, you're set for the year. There's not a lot more you have to do in terms of investing your time into your targets for the year. But it's my anti-goal setting masterclass. It's for entrepreneurs, husbands, fathers, grandfathers, coaches, and you can pay whatever you want. You can pay $1, you can pay $5, you can pay $25, $50, $100, $500. I don't care. In fact, I won't even know what you pay because I don't look at those numbers. That's all Marc-Andre stuff. I'm just going to put on the training for 2 hours. No BS newyear.com. No BS New Year. Go in and pledge $1, $5, $50, $100, $250, whatever it's worth to you. The more you pledge, the more you'll get out of it. That's just the way abundance works. But if all you can afford is $5, that's perfectly okay with me. And there's no obligation, there's no upsell, there's nothing like that. It's just, are you sick and tired Are you sick and tired of not leveling up? And we do have a brand new calendar year in front of us. And are things really going to change in the next year if you don't do something different? If there isn't a shift, I'll help you get that shift during that training. And instead of having some useless resolution or some useless goal list of goals, ain't going to happen. Ain't going to happen. I'm going to show you what I've used the last 20 years to transform my life. Because I used to fall for all that wishy-washy stuff, all that, I'm going to, inspiration, and this is the new year, and it didn't work for me. So I'm going to show you what works for me. And you can pay whatever you want as my guest. NoBSNewYears.com below. 2 words that change my life, 2 words that'll change yours. Be relentless.